Hey guys, sorry if it's loud. Got my kids playing on the floor. But you know when you can't stop thinking about something, and it's like you're trying, and it's not going away. That's exactly what's going on. Okay, so today I want to talk about the movie A Star Is Born. So I wanted to see the movie when I heard about it. My mom told me about it. She knows I love Lady Gaga. I love Lady Gaga, like, so much. I have two tattoos. Here's one. Here's the other one. This one says Little Monster. Yeah, so, you know, I've seen her in concert. I have all of her albums, like, obsessed with Lady Gaga. So my mom was like, this movie, it's a remake, it's so good. I saw the first one, Barbra Streisand, Gaga's in it. She's gonna be so great. So I was like, okay. I was like, you know, we'll go see it. And then it was just like, I had 1,000 things with work and school and the babies or whatever, that I just never saw it. She was harassing me. I want to see this movie. You said we'd see this movie. So on the way home from Puerto Rico, on the flight, it actually was the in-flight entertainment, but it's different now. Like, it used to be that you had I don't know, a big screen. I can't remember what it was like, but now it's like a little TV in front of you, and then you have to have headphones or whatever. And I have the AirPods. I don't have the regular headphones, so my AirPods didn't connect, and I didn't want to ask. Honestly, I had a baby on my lap, and my flight was like 2 in the morning to 6 in the morning. It was insane. So I watched the movie. I saw it in bits and pieces, and I didn't even get to see the whole thing because I had the baby and I had to go and change the diaper, stuff like that, in the middle of the flight. 1 second. Hey. No. Yeah. Okay, so I didn't even get to see the whole movie. I just saw like bits and pieces of it. My mom, she had the AirPods or headphones. I don't even know how she got hers connected, because she has AirPods too. I guess she had wired headphones too. So she was watching it, but she had the other baby. So she said that she saw the middle of the movie. She didn't see the beginning. She didn't see the end. So she's like, I want to see the movie. I want to see the movie. So I live in the studio downstairs from my family. And yesterday, so we got home, you know, everybody relaxed or whatever. And then I had homework I had to do. So I go to bring the babies upstairs so I can get some help so I could do my homework. And I literally walked in and my parents were watching the movie. And I was like, I want to watch it. So at this point, like, I had seen it. Like I said, I didn't hear it. So I was like, I'm going to sit down, do my homework, and listen to the movie. So some parts you could tell, like, you read the lips or whatever. So I wasn't, like, completely focusing on the movie because I had seen it. It played twice on the flight. So the beginning of the movie I had seen. So I was just listening a little bit, and I'm doing my homework or whatever. And then it like hit a certain part in the movie. Like, I saw on the plane, I saw that Bradley Cooper's character, Jack, his character was a drug addict and an alcoholic, and like I understood that was a big part of the movie. So I didn't know that. I had no idea about that. 1 second. Susie, hey, come here. Sorry, video wasn't hard with babies. Yeah, that's you. So I understood that he was a drug addict and alcoholic, and I saw where her character was like an enabler. You know, they didn't really get that much into it, so I didn't see if she was an enabler because she was an enabler or because it was just easier for her to be that way or whatever. But hearing the words that went with the movie was a little bit different. You know, like, I know that the movie had a lot to do with her character and like who she was and her being a star or whatever. And like I said, I love her. So the music that was in it, her voice, everything, I think that was great. But what blows my mind, if you haven't seen the movie, forgive me. And if you haven't, then don't continue. Stop here, watch the movie, come back. But what blows my mind is, now Bradley Cooper, he's in recovery. So I think it's interesting because he was like the director, producer, something like this for the movie. My mom told me that he's the one who produced it, directed it, whatever it is, and that he wanted Gaga to be in the movie, which, I mean, she's amazing. So I was like, that's great. But like, I know she's a huge advocate for mental health. So like, after seeing the movie, I was like, this is amazing. Like, it's amazing. Like, you know, when you watch something or like hear something, see something, whatever it is, and you just keep on, like, in your head, it just keeps going and going and going. Literally, that's it. Since last night, since I finished the movie last night, like, first of all, since I saw the movie on the plane, I was like, I need to see this movie. I need to hear what they're saying. I need to know what's going on. Like, I knew bits and parts of it, but like, I just like, I was like, I need to see it. That's why when I went upstairs and I saw my parents were watching it, I was like, no, like, I'm gonna figure it out. I ended up doing my homework. I did my homework. But having it in the background, I had to stop at certain points and I had to pay attention. And you know, the point of the movie is her, you know, her fame, whatever. He was famous already. He met her, you know, she was amazing, and he made her famous, and then he embarrassed her when she won something, Grammy, I don't know what it was. He embarrassed her because he went on the stage and he was drunk. I think he had taken some pills or whatever. Like, that was like the whole point. Like, he like smoked weed and he like took pills and he was like sniffing them or whatever. And he was drinking, like heavy drinking, where he would like pass out all the time. But he went on the stage and, you know, he fell on his way to the stage and he was like, you know, really drunk and acting crazy, and he ended up peeing on himself on the stage. Like, it blew me. I was like, oh my God, like, this is insane. Because for two reasons it's insane, and this is why I felt like I had to make the video. Like, I wanted to make the video last night, honestly, but it was like so late. I was so tired. I didn't sleep for like 30 something hours. I looked crazy. My eyes were red, and I'm like sitting here and I felt like I was like saying the same things over and over again, and it's because it was in my head so much. I was like, oh my God, I need to make a video about this. I need to make a video. And the two reasons why I felt like it was so important is, like, A, in a society, when somebody is famous, somebody like I don't know, like a Robert Downey Jr. or Michael Jackson or Prince. Oh my goodness, Prince. Like, people don't, like, my mom is the biggest Prince fan, and when I told her, I was like, oh, he died of a drug overdose, she was like, no, not Prince, not my Prince, blah, 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 saying all this stuff. It's like, when somebody is so famous like that, people don't think about it. They just kind of feed into it. They make excuses for it. They're just like, oh, you know, they have all this money. Oh, it's this, it's no big deal. Oh, people are, you know, oh, other people are feeding their addiction. And it's like, yeah, but you're part of those people that are feeding into it. You're feeding into it because you're not taking the addiction for what it is. You're sitting here and you're saying, oh, it's this, it's that. Not understanding, like, addiction is addiction. Whether the person is on the street, whether the person has $1 million, like, addiction is addiction. So we're, you know, not me personally, but like, we're part of the enabling, you know, instead of like somebody sitting down and being like, this is a problem, like Demi Lovato. I should have thought about her because, you know, everything that just happened with her. But instead of saying no, 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 like, people will say no, and then they'll get rid of those people and they'll find people who say yes. And that's just addiction across the board. But definitely when it comes to famous people, it's like, we'll kind of turn a blind eye and be like, oh, it's no big deal, you know, because they have everything. Oh, because they can get the help, you know, they have it, they just don't want the help, because they can go to rehab, they can do this, they can do that, whatever the case is. And the other thing, ew, baby, what is that? The other reason why I feel like making this video is so important is because of the stigma, and it has a lot to do with the first part, you know, where people don't necessarily consider, they don't consider the other person's used to be so much of a problem. It's the stigma associated with mental health, with the issues, you know, because to me, addiction it's a mental health issue. It's a social service issue. It's a concern that people don't necessarily want to take into consideration. Because people are just like, oh, you know, this is not my problem. Personally, it's not my problem. You know, it's the world's problem. It's, you know, society's problem. But we are part of society. So it's our problem because we're not doing what it is. We're not doing the right thing to help with the stigma, you know? We're not giving what it is that needs to be given. And to me, that's education. We're not educating properly because after... Sorry. Sissy, what? What do you want? I don't get it. Here, here. After watching the movie, at first, I was just like, oh my goodness, like, this is great. Bradley Cooper was excellent. Lady Gaga was great. Her voice, you know, the people that they portrayed. The fact that people thought that Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga were together, you know, like, and they still do. Oh, they're a couple. Like my mom said, I can't wait until they say that they're a couple. And I was like, he's engaged. Sorry. I was like, he has a kid, you know. And my mom's like, that doesn't mean anything. You know how it is. Blah, blah, blah. But to me, that just shows, like, their chemistry was so great. And the love and connection that they showed in the movie definitely translated over, you know, to whatever it is to the people that are watching. But I think that's the only thing that people are thinking about, because if I didn't see the movie on the plane, and if my mom wasn't like killing me to see the movie, I literally never would have known that he was a drug addict. And he was sorry. That he was a drug addict and he was an alcoholic. I never would have known. Because the thing is that people aren't talking about it. They're not sitting here and saying, oh my goodness, this is such a problem. And what blows my mind is the fact that this is not the first movie that has done this, that has portrayed a person like that, you know? And it's not going to be the last. And in society, it happens all the time. There are people who are... And obviously, you see what happened with Demi Lovato. You know, she did what she did. And I love Demi Lovato too. I really do. I've loved her since she was with the Jonas Brothers. Since she was in, you know, all those Disney movies or whatever. But people just don't connect it, you know? Like, she has, like, some serious mental health issues, and that translated over to her addiction, and same thing with a lot of people. But we just don't, as a society, we don't look at it like the fact that their performance, Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, was so amazing, completely overshadowed the message that they're trying to give. And like, I'm sure, like, people are going to be watching this video and they're going to be like, no, that was my biggest concern, it was this, that. But the thing is that as a society, as a whole, we're not, hey, thank you, here, we're not paying attention to that, you know? What we're paying attention to is their chemistry. What we're paying attention to is the message of love. We're not paying attention to the mental health, you know what I mean? Because among addicts, suicide is huge. It's huge. And it's because there's almost always an underlying issue in addiction. That, you know, that mental health issue. That, like, I saw the other day, I can't remember who it is, but one of my followers, they had a quote that said, it was like, I don't know, it was supposed to be funny. It was like a void filler. And then they said, oh, I should have known, I've just been using drugs this whole time. And that is it is the truth. Like, when I was a therapist, I would tell people, like, your drug use is not the problem. Oh, are you okay? That's okay. Shh, give me. Here. Here, it's okay. It's okay. Sorry. I was saying, you know, your drug use is not the problem. It's a problem, but it's not the problem. The problem is whatever mental health issue that you have, you know, whether it's anxiety, whether it's schizophrenia, whether it's bipolar, depression, you know, PTSD, any of those underlying issues, that's the problem. Like, your drug use is essentially it's your answer to the problem. And to me, that is exactly what the movie showed. Like, it showed in a larger scale what us as addicts and people who deal with mental health issues, our everyday. That is literally our everyday. But because it's Hollywood and, you know, the glamour and the glitz of it all, it's winning all these awards, but nobody's like sitting here saying like, I understand, you know, and I now want to, not nobody, you know, there are people, you know, obviously I'm trying, but like, as a society, we're not sitting here saying like, this is what needs to happen. This is what I need to be educated. I need to, you know, I need to give in some way. We're still just looking at the fact that it was Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, who are two people who struggle. Like, this is what I don't understand. It blows my mind. And it bothers me so much because being able to separate their performance from the fact that this is it's real for so many people, and it's a serious problem that needs to be focused on. Like, money needs to be given for mental health, for the research associated, for programs, for everything, you know, like all these things I see. Honestly, like, I live in a place where drug use is huge. The epidemic is huge, you know, for the small scale that we live in. It's bigger in other areas because, you know, more people are using, more people are overdosing, but because we have a small population, it's like we're one of the highest for like overdoses and overdose deaths, one of the highest counties or something like that. But you still hear people, like, when I tell people that I'm a therapist, whatever, like, I don't tell them that anymore. I say I used to be a therapist because now I'm a case planner. It's different. I'm not doing the therapy or whatever. But when I would tell them I'm a therapist, they would say like, oh, God bless you. I can't believe that you work with people like that. And it's like, you know, they mean to come off as like giving me a compliment or whatever, but it's like such an underhanded compliment. It's like, yeah, I work with these people because I love that population and because I want to make a difference. But it's like, you know, everybody wants to see that go away. Nobody wants to say like, oh, we have the most overdoses and we did this and did that. But nobody wants to put in the work to be able to fix it. Like, if we had more help, if there was more money, more funding going, and if there was more education, and if people actually understood, if they actually understood what it is that people are feeling that makes them feel like they should do drugs, that makes them feel like they should kill themselves, like, then it wouldn't be so much of a problem. There's no reason why we should not talk to people. Like, when I was talking to somebody, I said, you know, doctors, which blows my mind. You're a doctor. You go to school to help people, like literally help people. But if I come to you and say like, I feel like I'm going to kill myself, then what do? You say, oh, do you have a therapist? Oh, I'm going to, you know, put you in the hospital. And then you don't even check in the next time I come. Are you feeling okay? Are you on medication? Are you seeing a therapist? Everybody just wants to like put it on somebody else. Nobody wants to be able to actually fix it, to actually help it. And like, as much as I loved that movie, and I love the message that it gave, I don't think that people took it the same way that I did. I think that people are still looking at it like it's just a movie, but it isn't. It is not just a movie. It may be just a movie to you, but to your neighbor, that's their life. I don't know. I feel like that was an actual rant. And I'm sorry for my babies, you know, running around being babies, but some people don't get it. I just felt like this had to be, I had to. And I would love to hear your guys' reaction. I would love to, you know, hear what it is that you guys have to say about it. Please go out and watch the movie if you haven't seen it. It's an amazing movie. And you know, maybe people can have a different view, a different outlook on it if they go into it thinking about the fact that there's the actual message in the movie outside of just, you know, love. Please reach out. Find me on Instagram, RawRecoveryTalk. Send me an email, RawRecoveryTalk@gmail.com. Watch the other videos on the channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys.